Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Teamfight Spotlight brought to you by Tempo Storm. My name is Canadian and we are going to be looking at one fight between the Fusion and the Spitfire. Before we begin, I just want to ask you guys, which fight stood out to you in week 5 of stage 2? What were your favorite team fights of all time? I'm really curious, so let me know in the comments below. So let's get started. The first thing I want to know is right here in this frame, looking at Carpe. Watch his screen right as the camera transitions away. We see that he uses his grapple right here. It turns orange, so he just used his grapple hook, and that's really important for this first kill coming in by the London Spitfire. The London Spitfire just switched to Genji off of Widowmaker because Birdring has been losing the Widow battle versus Carpe, so he's switching to the Genji in order to deal with Carpe. So the time is 1 minute left for the London Spitfire, and Carpe is playing on the low ground and using his grapple cooldown. So this is going to set us up for this 6v6 fight. Now the numbers for each team, how many players are alive for each team, is going to play a big part in this, as well as the mechanics and plays of all the players involved. So let's start with this. So right there, he used the grapple, and the Spitfire are trying to kill Carpe because he's just getting so many picks. So right here, we see his positioning. He is stuck on the low ground right here because he just tried to get a jump shot and was not respecting the dive of the London Spitfire. So we have Winston, Genji, and D.Va all dive the Widowmaker that has no more mobility. No amount of healing in the world, unless you invest it like an ultimate from the Fusion, is going to save Carpe. So a mistake by Carpe here to start this off, and a great capitalization on that mistake by the Spitfire to put them at a +1 advantage starting off this fight. So as the fight plays out, you know, it's just crazy. We're spectating Snello, who's just been a beast on this map. And off on the side, somehow Birdring is going to die to this self-destruct by Poco. Now, the Spitfire respond immediately. They start to move into where Birdring died so that Nuss can get the resurrect off. You see here, Gesture drops down, Fury's got his eyes on his Mercy, and Mercy is moving into where Birdring died. He died right here underneath the garage, and they're all ready to protect their Mercy so she can get this res off and bring this back to a +1 advantage for the Spitfire, because currently it's 5 versus 5 because Birdring died and Carpe died. So there, the res is complete, so now it's a +1 advantage for the Spitfire as this fight continues. Now, the spectators are going to be watching Poco here, and just, he's flying around, so we're going to miss some things off on the side. I believe this Fusion get 2 kills here. So off screen, we see Snillo kill Birdring, and Boombox kill Nuss. So these 2 kills happen off screen. So it was a +1 advantage for the Spitfire, but these 2 kills are putting them at a -1 now. So this is now a 5, almost a 6, because Carpe is still walking back versus 4. So Nuss is dead and Birdring is dead. So we got a 5v4 situation here for the Philadelphia Fusion. So somehow Badosin ends up in the corner here of Big Earls, and the Fusion want to capitalize on this. Fraggy is going hard in order to get that Zenyatta. Poco is following up with him. Now the tanks of Spitfire are also there to protect and defend their Zenyatta. Now Badosin does have the ultimate, which is very key, because as the Fusion go for the kill, Badosin's going to pick up the kill onto Fraggy, then pop the Transcendence to get away. So at the same time, Carpe just returned to the fight and kills Prophet. So at this point in time, we were at a 5 versus 4. So Carpe comes back, makes this a 6v4. Badosin kills Fraggy, making it a 5 versus 4. And then Carpe kills Prophet, making this a 5 versus 3. And this is where this fight gets really interesting. We are in a 5 versus 3 situation right now. The Spitfire at a -2, and they are going to turn this around and win this fight, in part because of some really smart plays on their side, but also because of some key mistakes made by the Fusion. So let's keep going. So Fraggy goes down. And again, Neptuno is there with the Resurrect because Boombox, the Fusion, are investing the Transcendence to protect their Mercy Neptuno, so Neptuno can res Fraggy. This combination is going to put them back at 6 people strong versus the 3 people of the London Spitfire, Badocin, Gesture, and Fury. Badocin, who is still in the Transcendence, he is trying to leave. He's trying to get out of dodge because his Transcendence is about to end. The Resurrect comes through. We've got all 6 members alive for the Fusion. And right here, this is where the first mistake happens from the Fusion. Now, they are turning on to Gesture. Gesture does have his Primal Rage, so he can be this aggressive because he's got the Primal Rage in order to leap out and give himself that big health boost. But what happens off screen is Carpe is trying to challenge Badocin without his flashbang. So right here, his flashbang is on a 3-second cooldown. Chances are he just used it to kill Prophet, which makes sense. He's got the headshot on the Prophet, so most likely the flashbang was invested into that kill, and he's going for this kill onto Badocin in a 1v1 situation. Now, this is a bit of a skill matchup, right? Whoever lands their shots. However, you know, Badocin comes out on top and kills Carpe, putting this at a 5 versus 3 now for the London Spitfire. It was a 6 versus 3, and now it's a 5 versus 3. So already a slight improvement on the odds for the Spitfire going into this next fight. Now, the next thing I want to look at is Gesture is about to play like an absolute god. So the first thing is Badocin's positioning is really key here. He's not on the low ground, so the enemy Tracer Snillo can't just like blink up to him and shoot him in the face because he has this slight elevation on the ramp. Now, Gesture, who was forced to use that Primal Rage, is going to hold this line right here to protect his Zenyatta. You know, Tracer being a very mobile character, she can't afford to flank all the way around the gas station because she doesn't have that many blinks. You know, you could go maybe 1, 2, 3 blinks, but by the time you do that, the reinforcements for the Spitfire will come back. So the quickest way for Snillo to get to Badocin is, you know, a straight line right through the gas station, and if we draw that line again, you see that Gesture is directly in Snillo's path. So that is really important. Now, the other thing here is watch Fraggy. He's going to jump around on this car and see Badocin in the backline. Now, remember, again, this is a 5 versus 3 for the Spitfire. For the Fusion. They have the numbers advantage. They have the dive. They just need to, at this point, they need to go in as a coordinated dive unit, right? These 3 plus Mercy, you know, these 4 can dive Badocin, kill him, put this into a 5 versus 2, clean up one of the tanks, etc., and really close out this fight. The other thing they could do is focus down D.Va, right? Only the healing from Zenyatta is here, which is really not that much. Gesture's in Primal Rage, so he's not really a great target. So they could also focus down Fury instead, kill the D.Va mech, and put them in a 5 versus 2 that way. So let's watch what happens. Watch Gesture here. Watch his positioning. So Fraggy right here calls out Badocin's by himself on the high ground. Snillo is trying to respond to this, and he blinks, right? Again, that straight line, trying to go right for Badocin here. Now, Badocin, Fraggy sees him, and Badocin's like, okay, I need to change it a little bit. I'm going to try and create more space, and he kind of backs up over into this area here. So, again, Snillo's trying to blink forward, and Gesture is right there to knock him back, saying, pressure him, hey, you're not getting anywhere near my Zen. Get out of here. Leave him alone. Snillo can't afford to take this fight. He only has 1 blink left and is forced to use the recall. Now, what could have happened, maybe turn this around, is if Snillo had instead tried to go through this door, he's got 2 blinks now. He could have done 1 blink to this door and then 1 blink to get, you know, onto Badocin in the back. However, that doesn't happen, and again, amazing positioning by Gesture to hold the door here for his Zenyatta and protect Badocin in this fight. Meanwhile, this whole time, Fury is doing an amazing job of contesting the cart because, again, the Fusion's attention is not on Fury holding the cart, it's on Badocin. Because, look, Fury is at absolutely full HP, and it's just Zen on the field, so Fusion really aren't putting that much damage into Fury. They want to kill Badocin in the backline. So Snillo's failed attempt at the dive happens just as Fraggy leaps in and decides to go in to kill Badocin. This is the second crucial mistake for the Fusion. So they had a 5 versus 3, which I've mentioned, you know, a lot of times now, but what happened is the spawn for the Spitfire really isn't that far. So we have a key hero switch from Nuss onto the Lucio to speed his team back. So this is super important because it brings Prophet and Birdring back into the fight that much sooner. So the window of the 5 versus Stage 3 just closed right as Fraggy dove in. So Carpe is still dead, so 5 for the Fusion versus 6 now for the Spitfire right as Fraggy jumps in. Now, as Fraggy's jumping in, we can see that his ally D.Va is here on the side, so there seems to be a miscommunication here, whereas Snillo and Fraggy were both coordinated in attempting the dive. Poco, who I'm pretty sure still has his boosters cooldown because he's just been standing here fighting, you know, the D.Va contesting the cart, does not boost in with Fraggy. Now, if we play, we'll watch Snillo's screen here. You see the defense matrix right here from Poco trying to protect Fraggy, but Fraggy is just too far. And at the same time, he's diving Zenyatta, Bdosin. You see Genji return right here. You see Lucio, and you see the Tracer. So again, the 6 members of Spitfire are back protecting Bdosin. The call came out from the Fusion: kill Zenyatta, kill Zenyatta, kill Zenyatta. And the Fusion are investing a lot. They invest Fraggy. They invest Snillo, who doesn't have recall. They invest Snillo's Pulse Bomb into this. He whiffs. So now with Fraggy down and Carpe coming back, this is now a 4 versus 6 for the Spitfire. They are in a +2 numbers advantage here, and it's going to be them who take the first point away from the Fusion because of some clutch plays by the Spitfire as well as some crucial mistakes from the Fusion. I'll let the rest of the fight play out. Neptuno gets absolutely baited because Fraggy dove in, so Neptuno is trying to get another resurrect, potentially, even though he just used it. He was trying to heal Fraggy as he dove in. He's now trapped in this terrible position, whips out the pistol, tries to finish what Fraggy started and kill Bdosin. Bdosin's going to kill Neptuno. Also, Snillo is finally going to clean up Bdosin here, but gets cleaned up himself again because he doesn't have that recall. And now Carpe's walking back. Snillo's dead. Fraggy's dead. Neptuno's dead. 2 people alive for the Fusion and 5 people alive for the Spitfire. Big advantage for the Spitfire as they take this first point. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this Teamfight Spotlight brought to you by Tempo Storm. Again, my name is Canadian. Let me know in the comments below which team you think is going to dominate Stage 3. As always, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing so you can check out all the future Teamfight Spotlights. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful, and have a good one.
Them in a dangerous position far forward, and that little bit of a stall means they're not going to be punished by London. So smart move there, because in overtime doesn't get you more of the clock, but it can save